today we're going to look at my survival kit. I have put things out here. I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer in a second to see exactly what it is that I'm carrying. This is not by any means the ideal way of doing it. This is the way I've done it. This is the way I'm comfortable with it right now. I'm always open to suggestions, so if you see anything in my kit that you definitely think doesn't need to be there, or there's a lighter option, smaller option, by all means, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you may have to say. So I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I've got here. Okay, so I've pulled things out in no specific order, but basically I could be separating this into the 5 major groups. Whenever you're in a survival situation, the 5 things you have to really think about are fire, water, shelter, food, and finding a way either out of the situation or a way that somebody can find you, I guess, in the situation that you're in. So, like I said, this is the pack that I try to fit everything into. It is a Mountain Equipment Co-op Waistpack, and I believe the volume of it is 1.3 liters. I like the fact that it has the zipper sealed and that it has more than one pocket on the outside. So flat, small things, I can keep them on the outside, and then bigger things I will keep inside. In terms of shelter, this doesn't fit inside of my pack, but I will usually keep it alongside it. If there is a situation where I'm strapped for volume, or if it's too much weight, then I would definitely leave this at home. This is an emergency tent that I purchased at a dollar store, paid $2 for it, and it's an A-style tent, and all it is basically is that material of which emergency space blankets, whatever you want to call them, are made of. It comes with some cord. It doesn't seem like it's a very good quality cord, but I usually carry other cord with me anyway. Also, in terms of shelter, I've got an emergency bivvy, and this is from Soul, which stands for Survive Outdoors Longer, and it's their emergency bivvy. Now, I've seen other emergency bivvies for sale, other brands, but they tend to be bigger. I really like how compact this is. If you see that compared to the size of my hand, I mean, it's small. It's also made of that same emergency blanket type material, it seems. Maybe not so crinkly, and it's orange. So it also would work as a signaling device because of the sheer color of it. Usually inside of here, I will keep my fishing kit. This is an emergency fishing kit that my boyfriend put together for me, where I've got some line, I've got some floaters, sinkers, some hooks, everything pretty much fits in there. I've also got a little plastic worm in case I don't have any other kind of bait, but it fits really nicely in there. Also, in terms of shelter, I do carry an emergency blanket. So if I'm leaving this one at home, for example, this will definitely come in handy. Even with the bivvy, I probably would like to have something over me to protect me from other elements as well. So that's pretty much it for shelter. In terms of, I guess the knife could also come in with the shelter. I mean, in case any of this fails and I still have to make some other form of shelter, I have a Gerber fixed blade rock knife. I don't like the serrated knives. I don't find that they are very useful for me. I really like this knife because the blade comes all the way down. It's all one piece, and it's riveted properly. It's big enough that I can actually chop wood with it. It's not big enough to scare me, so it's just the perfect size for me. I also carry a whetstone. to sharpen the knife, because I guess a dull knife is pretty useless. So that's for that. In terms of being found, I have, or finding my way, I have a Sunto MC2 compass. I thought this was a very good compass. I really looked around to what the options were. Really like this one because it also has the mirror to help find the spot. Plus the actual mirror can also be used as a signaling device. However, I still have a signaling mirror just because I like the fact that it has the I guess whatever the sight grid, that's what it's called, the sight grid to help me signal. I don't trust myself to be able to just use a normal mirror. Then of course I've got the trusty bandana, which in certain situations I guess it could be used to pre-filter water just of heavier sediment. In terms of water, I've also got the Aqua Tubs to purify the water, and I've also got a condom to be able to carry some water. Another thing I have for water is the cup slash pot. So if I need to boil any water, this would be great to carry water, to put water in, to purify, whatever. If I have to be eating grubs, I think I'd rather cook them. So this is pretty light. This is actually one of my latest purchases. We'll see if it stays or not, but right now I'm really liking the idea of having it. Then I've got some duct tape, and I've just kept it in its package just because of the way it's sealed. I would normally have taken, you know, papers and stuff like that out because they're just useless weight there. But in this case, I'm keeping it just because of the fact of the way it's being sealed. In terms of fire, I've got, again, I've got a lighter. I've got the fire striker. I've got a magnesium bar here as well. I won't usually carry all these types. I will usually either carry one or the other. I'm actually in the process of looking for a smaller fire striker than that. I've also got some travel wipes. Not only can they wipe your hands, but they're also good for starting fires. Same with the dryer lint. Also the same thing with the tampon, just things that are, you know, to start a fire that will help. Then I've got some match boxes here. This matchbox, I carry strike anywhere matches. I don't carry waterproof matches because I've got them in a waterproof case. Waterproof matches are usually harder to strike unless they're on the actual box that it comes in, or a specific striker, and if that gets wet, then they're pretty much useless. So I'd rather have strike anywhere matches in a waterproof case, although I do carry the box in there just in case. The actual box does have a striker at the bottom, but it just doesn't look as sturdy. In here, in this one, I've got some cotton balls with Vaseline, and these are great because they burn for quite a long time. I believe when I tried them out, it was something like 5 minutes. I guess it depends also on the size of the cotton ball and exactly how much Vaseline you're actually able to embed in there. That would be probably topic for a different video in the future. I've also got some tooth floss, and this is unwaxed and not with mint. Again, just this one thing could be a topic for a whole other video. You can make traps with it in terms of being able to get, you know, like catching a bird or something if you put seeds on them. It's also something that's good too if you need to patch up anything in your of your gear. I've got some hair elastic bands. For me, that's a question of survival. I need to keep my hair out of my face if I'm going to survive. I just think that it's one of those things that it has other uses as well, and why not keep it there. I do have some other elastic bands. This is just now in there because it fits. If at any point in time something doesn't fit properly, this is the first thing to go, because I do have the other elastic bands anyway, and I would definitely not use these ones in my hair. Again, some hand sanitizer. It's flammable, highly flammable, so not only does it keep your hands clean, but it also is something that you can use to start a fire. I've got a compressed towel. Hygiene is always important, but it is also something that burns. I've got some snare wire. I still have it from the way I bought it. Still haven't had a reason to use it, I guess. I've got a wire saw in here, and I keep everything in Ziploc bags just because it helps keep things from tangling with each other. And of course I've got a little Cliff Bar, which helps not only to feed me, but also if I need to use it for a trap, for a snare, for whatever it may be. And then of course there's a headlamp, not only for me to be able to see at night, but also because it does work as a signaling device. So this is a Princeton Tech EOS, I believe it's called. It's waterproof to 1 meter, and it has more than one mode. It actually has 4 modes. So there's the high, medium, low, and we've got a flashing. So that would be a signaling mode. And seems like that's all I've got in my survival kit right now. If there is anything that you see that you'd like to comment on, please do so. And get out there, enjoy yourself, and be prepared.